The Atlanta Hawks look to extend their 11-game win streak to 12 games if they can get a win in Houston versus the Houston Rockets tonight. But given the reports that I got regarding Jonathan Kuminga, the Atlanta Hawks are unleashing their secret weapon. Yes, I have reports in regarding the Atlanta Hawks and Jonathan Kuminga that will blow your socks off, and I am going to dive into every last bit of it. I'm going to talk about the reports. I'm going to talk about the money aspect. I'm going to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and what they plan on doing with Jonathan Kuminga. He's only got 6 games on his sheet. Well, just on his belt in regards to the Atlanta Hawks. He only has 6 games played, and yet he has already made an impact on the Atlanta Hawks and on the Atlanta Hawks fan base as well. Now, in this report, I'm going to talk about what came out yesterday regarding the Atlanta Hawks and Jonathan Kuminga. I'm also going to be bringing up some of you guys' response in the comment section throughout these last few videos, actually for the last few months. Since Jonathan Kuminga was traded to the Atlanta Hawks, we have had an influx of subscribers and people just saying that they were drawn to this page because of our coverage of Jonathan Kuminga, and also due to the fact that he was being completely disrespected in Golden State. So this is a big deal, and I'm telling you right now, I said it earlier, the Atlanta Hawks are unleashing their secret weapon with this one. What's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and let's just go ahead and dive right into this. Myself, Christian Moore, and Mike Kabrinsky. I was going to say Jonathan Kabrinsky. Well, Mike Kabrinsky, we definitely do our damnedest to try to make sure you guys are completely updated when it comes to Atlanta Hawks content and things of that such. So let's just dive right into it. Jake Fisher was on the Stein line. The Stein line, of course, from NBA insider Mark Stein, NBA insider Jake Fisher went out and he brought it. He of course had a statement saying that there is mutual interest, league sources say, for the Hawks to potentially decline their 2026 option on Jonathan Kuminga, valued at $24 million, in order for these sides to hash out a longer-term agreement. So here's how this works, okay? Now, Jonathan Kuminga signed a 2-year, $48 million deal with the Golden State Warriors when he was with the Golden State Warriors. But that was only an effort to bring Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Golden State Warriors. So again, with Jonathan Kuminga signing a $48 million deal with Golden State, you would think that he would be there for the long haul. He's 23. He's a young guy. And when he signed that deal, I know that a lot of Golden State Warrior fans were like, yes, he's here. But again, the $48 million deal was in efforts to bring Giannis to Golden State. Of course, we all know what happened at the trade deadline. That deal did not happen. That deal fell through. And now, with Giannis staying in Milwaukee, the Golden State Warriors are basically on the hook for a $48 million deal. And then, of course, they would owe him, Jonathan Kuminga, that is, $24 million in 2026, 2027. So as you can see, the Golden State Warriors did not want to do that. Onsi Saleh, he came in the clutch, bringing Jonathan Kuminga to the Atlanta Hawks, sending away Kristaps Porzingis, and here we are in this situation. So with this report, again, the Atlanta Hawks are unleashing their secret weapon. Let's not forget that right now the Atlanta Hawks own the first-round draft pick of the New Orleans Pelicans. And might I add, right now, the New Orleans Pelicans are the worst team, or has the worst record in the NBA. So now we see that things are starting to unfold. We're on an 11-game win streak, hopefully making it 12. Jonathan Kuminga and the Atlanta Hawks look to have a longer relationship than just a couple of years. Hopefully a long-term agreement within the next few months, as we can see. You got the first-round draft pick. You know what I mean? Like, things are looking up. And might I add, okay, with all of those things added in, and I forgot to bring this up in the first part of the show, but the Atlanta Hawks are in the 6th seed of the Eastern Conference. I asked you guys, could the Atlanta Hawks find themselves in the 6th seed? And dadgummit, they did it. Now, this doesn't mean that the Hawks are in the driver's seat, but this does mean that this is more than possible for the Atlanta Hawks to lock this in should they handle business. 13 games left in the season. This is a big deal. Now, you ask yourself, how did the Hawks jump 2 teams that seem to have been, in total control? Well, of course, the Hawks own the season record versus the Orlando Magic. And I think they won 3 games versus the Orlando Magic this season. So, of course, due to head-to-head, the Atlanta Hawks jumped those guys. And then, of course, when you look at records, the Hawks have a better record than the Miami Heat at 38-32. The Hawks are 38-31. So now we see how this situation plays out. So this is a big deal for the Atlanta Hawks, and the fact that they felt as though they need to lock Jonathan Kuminga in for a longer-term deal, this is really big. Now, I want to bring up what some of you guys have talked about Jonathan Kuminga in the comments. You guys have definitely been vocal in the comments when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga. And again, this has definitely been really big. I like it. I love the response that a lot of you guys have had in our comment section, talking to us about it. This creator, of course, he said, Baby Neek, I found your channel as soon as the trade went down. I'm a huge Jonathan Kuminga fan. Been following him since Ignite. Of course, that's the G League team that he played with. The Hawks is my new team. We're throwing a watch party here in Oakland with all of us sickened by the Warriors. So, of course, he's talking about, the whole Warriors situation. And, again, we appreciate that. We appreciate you guys following. When Jonathan Kuminga got a DNP last playoffs, which he did not play, and was literally the last player to come off the bench when Curry got injured, and we had too many contracting rookies playing over Jonathan Kuminga, and yet he was the leading scorer on the team in that series. I knew Kerr was the problem. And that's something that I've seen for a very long time. I've definitely seen a lot of people just bringing up the fact that Steve Kerr was the issue. JK is going to shred. He's going to bring back memories of Neek. Yes, sir. I do think so. He has that bounce. We've seen him dunk before. He has that bounce. I can see that happening. Everyone told me JK wasn't a star. Look at me now. Yes, again, this is big. And again, bringing up the fact that Jonathan Kuminga could see a longer extension with the Atlanta Hawks. It could even be more money. Who knows? But this just goes into the master plan of Onsi Saleh. This goes back into even the beginning of the season. We could not have seen this at the beginning of the season. We believed that, and I'll even say not even we. I believe that with Trae Young staying on the team, Kristaps Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Luke Kennard, and the rest of the supporting cast with Jalen Johnson, Zaccharie Risacher, Dyson Daniels, I felt as though that was the team that was going to finish out the season. I felt as though that was the team that was going to make the Hawks or get the Hawks into a 6 seed. Not in a million years did I think that the Hawks would have had to deal with Trae Young being injured, trading away Trae Young, trading away Kristaps Porzingis, bringing in C.J. McCullam and Corey Kispert, bringing in Jonathan Kuminga, damn near restructuring the entire team mid-season, and now here we are, 38-31, potentially going 39-31, because right now I'm going to point out to you, the Rockets are having a tough time. 2 back-to-back losses versus the Lakers. KD almost looking, I ain't going to say looking like a shell of himself, but he's definitely having a tough go at it these last couple of games and whatnot. So we know that the Rockets are going to do their best to try to be on their job. But this is a major opportunity for the Hawks to get things in order. Hopefully tonight the Atlanta Hawks can take care of business and handle things in Houston, move it to 12 games, and hopefully things can definitely shape up for the Atlanta Hawks to come back home and take on none other than the Golden State Warriors. And, I mean, poetic justice. You put Jonathan Kuminga out there, and he puts on a show in front of Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and say, look at what you could have had. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and I'm signing out. Peace.